Hello, I'm Tato Cat. Welcome to my channel. Today we are playing Lake of Voices. Previously, we met the Nixie. They are so fun. They don't like light, and they try to drag us into the water, and they're mean. And they do creepy, shaky, heady things. We saved Bimley. I mostly saved him because I thought he would take me down with him if I didn't save him, which is not the most honorable reason to save someone, but there it is. And we survived all that. And yeah, this is pretty much where we left off. With the guy going, we need to keep walking. Yeah, so let us keep walking. The guide starts down the bridge again, and we join him. I try to clamp down the relief, the ease that wants to flood my head. It's not over. Yeah, the game in the beginning basically said, if you survive the first night, which means I will probably not at first. The prowler is gone, but so is Bimley's lamp.
You can stay near me, Bemele, since your lantern is lost.
Yeah, I don't approve of this, because that's the reason why I had to save him in the first place. Because I was attached. I'm not happy with that.
I appreciate it.
You know what? If push comes to shove, you better sacrifice yourself to save me. That sounds so awful. I'm just saying. The guide is necessary. Trying to romance her, you need to take the sword for me, okay? Margaret goes on ahead of us. Bimley stays by my side as I keep at the end of line. The breath of release for Margaret and Bimley is quickly swallowed by the somber atmosphere of Sinlos, as well replaced by the gravity of the near-death experience. Never mind celebrating this survival. Something like that shouldn't have happened in the first place. The memory of the prowler reaching out towards us appears each time I close my eyes.
Why does it look like something's dripping down their faces?
They did just kind of hop out of the water. Or are they like kappas? You know, the monsters with the bowls on their head, and you bow to them, and then they bow back to you, because even though they're monsters, they're really polite for some reason. And all the water falls out, and then they have to go back in the water, and then they don't suck out your insides. Or you can give them a cucumber. The prowlers are on Margaret's mind too. Looking at her pained expression, it's as though the moment of relief never existed at all.
I'm not sure.
Me neither. Something's wrong with them, though.
Are they just rude? Oh, how dare those monsters.
They live in water. Air shouldn't be good for the things, but they want to drown humans so much they're willing to drag themselves around on land? It's not right.
I mean, if we're their food source, it's kind of necessary, I guess. Of course it isn't. They are monsters. They likely do not understand, and even the concept of right and wrong.
Well, I don't disagree that there's something very wrong about them. I truly, truly hope that's the last we'll see of the Prowlers.
It won't be. Probably not. Something comes to her mind, causing Margaret to enter part of the conversation.
Since you two have to share a light, wouldn't it be safer to be in the middle?
Or we can just not share a light. You know, he could walk between people who have lights instead of grabbing onto me. But, you know, who knows? Margaret stops and waits for Bimley and I to reach her position.
That way, you'll catch the edges of my light and the guides, and it won't be so dangerous if Bamele loses his position momentarily.
But that means you're at the end. You are at the end of the line behind the people who can fight. That does not seem great for you.
That's a very kind offer, Margaret.
Hey, even though swords don't do much, they must do something. I mean, we were able to kick the thing away. I imagine a sword is more helpful than a nice kick. Bimley's surprise is so apparent. I want to cover his face with my hand to stop him from insulting her. She merely smirks. I think Margaret may be surprised with herself, too. Bimley returns to his usual surety.
As thoughtful as it is, I, at least, am fine with bringing up the rear. I'm used to keeping watch for monsters, and since there are two of us, I can pay attention to the back while Kika focuses ahead.
Isn't that what you were supposed to be doing in the first place? And then you turned your head and you're like, I forgot what was going on. And then I had to save you? Just saying.
It's not my light, though, so I shouldn't be the one to decide what she should do with it.
I feel like a choice is going to happen soon. Margaret and Bimley turn to look at me in unison. Seems like it's my decision. Neither of them are wrong. As for me, my goal is to protect everyone. It's not possible, apparently. I can't very well do that with Margaret following behind us. But being stuck in the middle of the group could also be dangerous depending on what circumstances we come across. Getting pincered by the enemy would be an almost sure death. No matter how experienced Bimley and I are. I just don't know what to expect from this bridge. And that makes things so much more difficult. Oh, it's timed! The current formation works so far. I like
you're
the
staying behind?
suspicions. No, I'm going to make a choice. I'm just had to read the thing. What? I paged up too much. I'm going to choose this one.
So you're staying behind?
Seems like it sounds the same, but I feel like it actually leads to different paths. Because one seems like I'm indecisive because I don't actually say anything. And then the other one is like, yes, this is the choice I'm making. Yeah, I'm choosing to, because having her at the rear does not seem like a smart thing to do. If things get tough, I can just throw Bimley away and just go run up to save her. You know, it's cool. We can do it. She will live.
Seems like it.
Yes, I think we'll be good here. But really, thank you. That was a very kind offer.
Yeah, I'm learning. Time choices, story. Not time choices, relationship. So this has nothing to do with her feelings. It's about living.
Well, alright.
Margaret responds. Bleh. Margaret respects our decision and trots ahead a bit to catch back up with the guide. He who has paid no mind to the entire affair. Yeah, I don't think the guide really cares that much. You know, his goal is to just not die himself, really. Like, at least one person will live, but he warned us.
So, I don't want to sound like a child, but how much longer until we arrive at the halfway point?
Margaret chuckles, reflecting the amusement. I don't want to vocalize.
We still have some ways to go.
Damn.
I suppress my laughter yet again at his pouting response. The gloom we have been under dissipates slightly, like light flickering through the fog.
The first trial tends to be the most difficult. I believe we will only react better from this point on.
Why do I feel like that is not true at all?
I like the way you think.
I think it's naive. I feel like the choices are only going to get harder. Then, a gleam enters Bimelay's eyes, and he grins.
I think Kika deserves a round of applause. Her quick reflexes are owed the utmost appreciation.
You better appreciate it. I don't really know if Bimley would have died if I didn't do anything. I'm pretty sure I would have. Somehow. He leans softly into my shoulder, trying not to get me to... What?
It was indeed a sight. You're quite capable. Bemele was also a sight, but for very different reasons. The way he froze with his mouth all agape was a laugh in itself.
He's not going to take that very well. Yeah, mister, I am trained to deal with the end of the line and take care of monsters and look out for them. Blah, blah, blah. Bimele shakes a fist at Margaret in mock anger. Then shoots me an affectionate look.
You should know, she and I are usually on equal footing.
The only reason you had footing at all is because she pulled you back.
Bimele laughs self-consciously, scratching his head.
That's very true. You can always count on Kika.
The Steadfast. That's Kika the Steadfast. You forgot my title, sir. I keep my eyes steady ahead, unsure how I should respond. I'm pleased, almost grateful to hear what they think of me, but I don't know what I could say that wouldn't seem pathetic. Instead, I continue the best way I can. I keep my focus on the path ahead of me. Without a response from me, the conversation quickly dies out. Still, it eases my head. It eases my heart to be on such friendly terms with my companions. After some time, I notice Margaret isn't keeping up with the guide as much as she was before. I realize it's because the guide has increased his pace. Margaret begins to jog in an effort to keep up with him. Well, that can't be good. And Bimley and I do the same. Despite this, the guide keeps getting further away. No. We go faster and faster until suddenly we're full on sprinting across the slick wooden boards. That doesn't sound good. Sounds like an accident waiting to happen. Figures in the dark fog fly past us at a blur, and it occurs to me the branching paths in the bridge appear to be sinking. All of the branching paths, there's 3 of them. I try hard to swallow my rising panic. The guide shouts something, but it's drowned out by the frantic pounding of our footsteps. I'm trying to piece together what he said. Don't stop. Turn. When he takes a masterfully sharp right down a different path, ushering his own, using his own momentum and the sleek wood to slide into the new direction with no loss of speed. Well, that's masterful. I assume Margaret's gonna have a harder time doing this. Margaret must not have worked out the warning either, as she is completely caught off guard by the guide's change in course. She runs straight ahead past the turn and continues down the path we've been following up until now. She clumsily begins to halt her momentum down the wrong bridge. Then I come upon the fork. Oh no! What happens if we don't turn? Oh, we have to save her, right? Or will we die? Our goal is to save her, so I mean, if I don't, oh no. We'll see. We'll see what happens. If I die, I'll just come back to this point. I keep straight ahead, not making an attempt to the correct direction. Because I know it's not going to affect her romantically, I guess, but it will affect the story, right? Because if she dies, then I can't romance her. And if she's by herself, she will probably die. So obviously there's a way for her to survive because she's a romantical character. So I figure not turning is the only option here. Bimle seems to fumble slightly, but stays close behind me. And in the lights, I inwardly apologize. I come upon Margaret, who nearly runs into me in her effort to turn around. Her face twists at the sight.
Why are you...
I ignore her and move to face the other way. The path we came from is disappearing into the water. It's sinking.
We have to jump.
Did she say jump?
We have to jump.
Yes.
What?
What, Margaret, you think we're going to swim in it? Margaret holds up her hands, but I grab her and spin her towards the path the guide is on.
Go! We'll catch up.
But...
Bemele and I will have to jump together. He needs the light. Just move.
I practically shove her, and without further hesitation, she takes the leap. She makes it just past the edge of the bridge. Knees buckle as she lands. But is soon back up on her feet and holding her lantern out towards me. She beams with pride. Encourage her to keep going. Point towards the guide. Wouldn't it be better for us to yell to her? This is a relationship bonus, this is not time. Encourage her. Oh, I heard a ting ting ting. I think the ting 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 noise is a good thing, right? I smile back and motion Margaret towards the guide. She understands the gesture, though hesitates, obvious conflict in her eyes. However, she nods and runs after him.
Here.
I offer Bimley my hand, tightening my grip on my lantern. Bimley accepts the offer, giving it a brief squeeze. A light smile plasters itself across my face. I try to calculate the distance between our bridge and the other. Then the ground starts to shake more.
Jump!
Hopefully we make it. We dash to the bridge's edge and leap. Cold air rushes past my face with winding its fingers into my hair. For an instant, I think I see something moving under the surface of the water. You probably do. Then we land hard on the wooden bridge. Bimley lets out a sigh of relief as we both creakily get fully back on our feet.
Stay close. We need to run.
I'll be right behind you.
Will you, though? I feel like when anyone shouts, "I'll be right behind you," they're never right behind anyone. I take off, not bothering to ensure Bimley is staying true to his word. I know he'll follow. The guide's fading light bounces into the distance, a clear signal that he's still running. I focus everything I have on catching up. Slowly, we begin to close the distance. As the night wears on, our strength rapidly fades. Even my stamina is being challenged. I can't imagine what this must feel like for Margaret. She's holding her side as she runs, clearly cramping from the exercise. So we've caught up to Margaret. Cool, we're catching up, kind of. How much longer will this last? People have to rest sometime. Almost as if in response to my thoughts, the guide abruptly halts. I skid to stop as well, sliding on the surface of the wood.
Why did we stop?
Bimley is still alive. Cool. We'll see how long that lasts in the next episode. I'm Tato Cat. Have a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon.